Welcome to This Week in Weiss Schwarz, where we talk about Weiss Schwarz's news and cards of the day. It's another short week because lately Bushiroad has been giving us all of the news after I finished writing, filming, and editing these videos. This means they're on to me. Before we get started, if you noticed anything different about the channel, yes, there are ads in every single one of my videos. It's because I've been giving a lot more privileges because of the 1K subs. And I gotta pay my rent somehow. The main difference is the YouTube members. If you become a member, you get all these cool super perks that are being shown on the screen right now. There's only one tier because I want to keep the barrier for entry extremely low. It's only $1 a month. You support me directly, and again, here are all the perks. And with that out of the way, let's get started. We have the trial deck for Cide Traumerei, or as friend of the channel Contains Anime calls it, Cide Takoyaki. Personally, I would decide Taiyaki, but that's just me. The trial deck is released on October 15th with no word on the booster pack. They will release it sometime in 2022. The trial deck will contain 4 triple rares and 2 SP cards. Like I mentioned in the past, this is a brand new mobile game from Bushiroad, hence why this is getting a series in Weiss Schwarz. The game isn't even out yet, and there is, as of writing this, no gameplay footage yet. So yeah, again, trial deck's out on October 15th. So now we're gonna jump over to the English news. The Errata page has been updated. So let's see what's different. Last year, this card was given the wrong character name, so it changed from Cromwell to Kudo. On this update, Kudo is changed to Black. One reason that I could think of Kudo or Black having his name changed is that he was finally given an official name by the license holders. That makes sense, right? These fucking climaxes got their names reverted back, so forget about the last errata of these cards. So these erratas are less gameplay fixing and more just like name related, which 2021 Bushiroad really like to do, especially with the Data Live cards. And of course, there is this one. As some of y'all may know, as of recording this, 7 Deadly Sins is not out in English, and this already has an errata. There's a misspelling in waiting room. Okay. Oh man. So not only did they mess this up, but on Twitter, when they tweeted out some cards from Heaven's Field, they put the wrong release date on Heaven's Field. They gave it the release date for 7 Deadly Sins. And they did delete the tweet. Man, English is a nightmare sometimes. Like, honestly. English is it's pretty bad sometimes. And this is why people mainly play JP only. There are no issues. There's no erratas, no errors. There's none of that. And you know what? They even have signed cards. And as of now, there are no series in JP Weiss Schwarz that doesn't have a signed card. You see, JP is able to get the licenses because it is a Japanese company? Why are you showing me this? The booster packs in the trial deck of World Trigger will be released on October 15th. There will be a total of 104 cards. There will also be new illustrations for the main characters of the series and 5 box topper PR cards. One important thing to note is that World Trigger will not contain signed cards. There will be hot stamped cards instead. Now this is interesting for 2 reasons. First of all is that this is a JP set not receiving signed cards. The second is that I'm really curious to see how JP Bushiroad handles the hot stamps. Are they gonna be more extravagant, or are they gonna go with the extremely unoriginal and ugly route like we have been seeing with the English signed cards? Not gonna lie, I'm kind of bummed out. Not because I was actually interested in the series, which, you know, that is one of the reasons why, but because as a JP player, I can no longer feel superior to the English-only players. We are now on the same playing field, and that is not okay with me. That is a joke. That is a joke, by the way. I feel like I need to start saying when things are a joke, because some of y'all don't understand my sarcastic and sassy tone. So either way, no signed cards in World Trigger. What are you gonna do? And now, the big news of the week. We finally... What? Huh? Wait, why are we're fading to black? What the hell was that? An ad break? Hey, Gotta pay my rent somehow. Either way, in this video over here on the official Weiss Schwarz YouTube page, they announced that there is going to be a new mechanic added to the game of Weiss Schwarz. It is called an overtrigger. So an overtrigger is a card that when it's triggered, it gives one of your characters 1,000,000 power. I know we only deal with like 20k max and below. What? That's the wrong game. Oh, for real though, in that video, they explained that the Fruits of Grisaia Volume 2 is going to receive a new game mechanic. It is a bit confusing, and it's even a little more confusing if you try to watch that video with auto-generated English translated subtitles. It is hilarious, but a mess. So I'm going to try to explain it to the best of my abilities. I thought we were at an ad. I'm sorry, I was feeding my Digimon. The new mechanic is currently relegated to 6 climaxes in the Fruits of Grisaia. The mechanic is called Link. Each set is going to have their own flavor to this mechanic, but on the rulebook, this is considered the Link mechanic. A way to think of this is kind of like the replay ability that certain cards have. For example, this Kasumi's replay ability is called Fever, and this one's is called Smokescreen. The rulebook name is Replay, while the flavor of the card in the card set, it's called Fever or Smokescreen. This is happening with this mechanic as well. The rulebook name is called Link, while the flavor name in the Fruits of Grisaia is called Cide of Blanc Ale. Hope I said that right. As you can see on the climax cards, on the very top of the effect, there is a link marker plus the name. Again, that's the flavor name. So when you play a climax with Link, nothing happens. It's not an on-play ability. A way to think of the Link is to consider it as a trait for the climax. We're gonna talk about this in the context of Grisaia. There is a chance that this can be added to events, which, you know, it is a possibility. But as of now, only the Fruits of Grisaia have this. So again, think of these links as traits. And I know what you're thinking. I am very sweaty. We need to have effects that interact with the link, right? They wouldn't give us a new mechanic with not having its stuff to do. That is where these cards come in. Return Genius Kazuki states that when this card is reversed in battle, you could pay 1, send this to your memory, and Climax combo. When you play Climax with the link Cide of Blanc Ale, and you have 2 or more other climaxes in your waiting room with different names, and both this card and Job as National Defense Equipment Kazuki is in your memory, you could pay 1. Choose any of the 6 link climaxes, and the name of the card in your climax area is now treated as that card's name. Now, I hope that my explanation about thinking of these as traits kind of makes sense. We'll talk about this card in a little bit, but for now, let's get on to the next one. Job as National Defense Equipment Kazuki is when this card is reversed in battle and you do not have a copy of this card in your memory. You could pay 1, ditch 1, send this to your memory, draw a card, and Climax combo, memory. Once per turn, when one of your characters trigger checks the climax and you have the previous card in your memory, you could pay 1, ditch 1. Choose a climax with Link, Cide of Blanc Ale, that has a different name than what you triggered. Place it on the top of your deck, then you trigger. Okay, so both effects are absolutely insane, but we're gonna talk about the Job Kazuki first. The memory effect is easy enough. It is live during either player's turn, but you're only allowed 1 in your memory. You compress, you fix your hand, you dig a little deeper into your deck, and then you're set up for your Genius Kazuki. Now the second effect is the more interesting one. This needs to be on the field, and in a sense you are twin driving a guaranteed climax effect. This is super good in a sense because you're going to be gaining some advantage, especially if you're going to be using standby, choice, or a gate. Now, please remember to pay these off when you can. You don't want to have these locked in your stock. I'm going to put that on a shirt. So anyway, you trigger whatever you triggered. You could pay 1, choose a card with Link of Blanc Ale in your waiting room that's different than what you triggered. You put it on the top of your deck, and then you twin drive. You trigger again. Now this Kazuki, this card is amazing. Ah, well, I kind of take that back. So its first effect could have used like some sort of plussing. That would have been really nice. It is on reverse, pay 1, you send this to your memory. At least let me draw a card or something. Like the last card, why aren't you like your sister? But either way, you could play a climax with Link, you could pay 1, and if you have 2 or more other climaxes with different names in your waiting room, you could treat that climax that is played with a different name. Now, let me tell you why this is good. Like, this is really good. You can have the wrong climax in play for your climax combo, but you're going to be fine because you could just switch out the names. You see, climax combos only look for the name in the climax area, not really if the card is the exact series code or anything like that. So let's take this little combo for example. We have the 3-2 Michiru, whose effect is phenomenal. I did talk about this card in this video over here. Please go watch that video. But again, this card is phenomenal on a standby. It is not on a standby, it's on a gate. So your level 2 comes up. You play the standby climax. Link activates with these two in your memory. Switch the name to the correct climax of the Michiru. Your standby activates again because it only changes the name, not what the climax does. You bring out the Michiru, and because you have the correct climax in play, Michiru's effect activates. Your climaxes will always be live. The one drawback that I could possibly come up from this is that you're running 3 different climaxes in your deck. But with the example that I just shown, I think that's going to be a non-issue. This is going to change the way the game is played. This is definitely going to change the way the game is played. And I'm a bit surprised that this was introduced in the Futsu Grisaya and not the usual suspects like Sword Art Online or Bang Dream. Those are going to be the next sets that are going to get it. I'm calling it. So, now the question is, when are we getting this in English? Grisaya is not coming to English, but you know, it can change. It is on the Steam page and all that. But hey, I don't know. I've been wrong way too many times now that I don't even want to speculate. Friends of the channel, the Clock Tower, told me that they do not speculate because they talk in absolutes. I'm just gonna run my mouth. Fuck it. I think it would be cool if they introduced this in Ruby. There, I said it. That way we get this mechanic this year. In short, the link mechanic are like traits for climaxes. I hope this helped. And with that, thank you all for watching. What do you think of the link mechanic? Is this going to change the game? And which series do you think is going to come to next? Do you think it's going to come to Bang Dream or SAO? The reason I say that is because they almost always test out new effects with those sets. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Weiss Schwarz news and content. And major thank you to all my channel subscribers: Stock Swap Games, Ted Turtle, Soy Saucer WS, Leafa, Buckland, Andy, Audrey, Gilgastorm, Dark Gamer, and Silverthorn. Again, it's only $1 a month. You support the channel directly, and you get a special shout out at the end of all the videos. Plus, you know, all this stuff as well. Follow me on Twitter at CasuallyWS, and I'll see you all in the next one.